Go. Okay, Chevre, let's go. We're going to continue the Chazara. Oh, Schis, thank you. I keep forgetting. Tonight's share is Schis for Akiva Simcha and Vega, 4 Zivukum for Chav Bas Miriam, Ahuv Bas Miriam, and Dovdar ben Pina Peril. It's also for Yishayim for oh mine, I'm sorry. It just tongue twisted for me, so okay. What? That's it. Oh mine. So now.
Oh, Benny's here.
Benny's coming in, Baruch Hashem. Okay, guys, no. We're going to get started. He's on. Okay, we're starting from the Mishnah, and we're going to continue. We're going to try to get the full daf in today, so that way there's only... Thank you. Anonymous. Chul is sponsored by Anonymous. He asked to be anonymous. He sponsored, he paid. It's anonymous.
Somebody forgot about the classic raffles.
I'm going to do it. And he called, no, I ended up calling it in because I forgot, but the guy paid for it. I was afraid that he paid for something and didn't get it. Now, number 2 is, David Siegel said that next week, whoever wants matzahs Thursday night, they could go to him. But if you don't come to him, the week after Pesach, he's sponsoring the 20 giggle. With cucumbers. Start. Last but not least, if anybody forgot about the raffle, remember there's a raffle over Yom Tov. There are 2 very simple ways to get in. One, either Chazar one time from the beginning of the parak till Chafei Meral from bottom, or number 2 is to just learn 15 minutes every day. Try to progress. That's it. One of those 2 ways, and you're in. What? No, it's 1 entry. It's not. That's 1 entry. Okay. Well, you generally, if you do the Chazara, you're going to do both. If you do the Chazara, you'll end up doing both. All right. The mission over here, Chav Beis, Amid Beis. Ha'oisa Sukka sai b'rosh ha'gola. Someone who puts a sukkah on top of the wagon. Oy b'rosh ha'sfina on top of the boat. Ksher, it's kosher. Va'oil la b'yom tiv, and he can go on top of it on Yom Tiv. B'rosh ilan agabe gamal, if he puts it on top of the tree or on top of a camel. Ksher, it's kosher. Va'ein la b'yom tiv, like we said, you can't go on it on Yom Tiv. However, if you did, you're still yotze the mitzvah, but you're not allowed to. Shtayim be'il, why? Because it's a derabanan. Shtayim be'ilan, if let's say you have two sides or 2 portions of the floor is supported by trees, va'achas b'dei adam, and one has a beam or a column of man-made column. Oy shtayim b'dei adam va'achas be'ilan, ksher, it's kosher, and again, ve'ein oil l'biyom tiv, we have a chashash that you may pull branches, and that would be a problem. Shalish b'dei adam va'achas be'ilan kshera. Why? Because it's so sturdy that we don't have that concern. And why do we originally have that concern? Because if you think about it, if you're on top of the tree, your sukkah, like, in order to get up there, how do you get up there? You have to sort of climb up the tree or whatever. So you're much more comfortable to pull something off. So we say, shalish b'dei adam v'achas b'ilan, ksher, it's kosher, ve'oilin la b'yom tiv, and you could go on top of an yom tiv. Why? Because zeh ha'klal, this is the klal. Anything that you remove the tree from it, and it will stand on its own. It will not fall over, meaning any sukkah that's up there. It's kosher, and you can go on top of any yom tiv, and that includes the 3-sided by man, 1 side by tree, even though. Who is the author of this Mishnah? Who's the one that wrote this Mishnah? Rabbi Kiva, it's Rabbi Kiva. The Tanya, because we went in the Brayso, someone who makes a sukkah on top of a boat. Rabbi Gamliel, Paisa. Rabbi Gamliel says Paisa, Rabbi Akiva Machsher. So you see a case where Rabbi Akiva is Machsher. And now we're going to say the story. Ma'isa Rabbi Gamliel, Rabbi Akiva. Shahu Ba'im Basfina, there's a story of Rabbi Gamliel and Rabbi Akiva. They were traveling by boat. Amar Rabbi Akiva va'asa sukkah b'rosh hasfina. Rabbi Akiva went and he put a sukkah on the top of the boat. L'machar, in the morning, the next day, nishba ruach v'akarta. Came a super strong wind, blew it, and destroyed it to shreds. Amalei Rabbi Gamliel, Akiva hechad sikasech. So Rabbi Gamliel tells him, Akiva, vidan seker, like you hold that this would be good. The reason why I hold it won't be good is because of this reason. Now your sukkah is gone. So what does he say? So now comes Abaya and Amaya, and he's going to explain each side of the coin. Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Gamliel. The Kuli Alma, Amar Abaya, the Kuli Alma hechad eini yichel lam bruch mitzur di'abasha lo'klumi. Everyone agrees in a case where a sukkah cannot withstand a regular breeze in land. That's on a boat, right? No. Now we're switching it off. Abai is explaining now both sides. He's going to explain. Everyone agrees like this. Everyone agrees like this. Our machlekes is in the middle. Everyone agrees if it cannot withstand a breeze on land, not valid. It's not even a sikah. Everyone agrees if it can withstand a super strong wind in the ocean or on the land, we're going to say over here, it is good. But when is the problem? if it cannot withstand the super strong wind on the land. So it's like there's the in between. On the land, it's gonna be the in between. Yeah, the super strong on the land is gonna be the in between. So then it says like this. Everyone agrees, lo klumi, it's nothing. If it's able to withstand a unnatural strong wind on the land, everyone agrees it's good. Keep pligi when they argue, when it can withstand a normal breeze, however, but it cannot withstand a super strong wind. Rabbi Gamliel Savar. Now, what's their reasonings? Rabbi Gamliel says, Sukka diras keva binon, it needs to be a strong, sturdy structure. And since it cannot withstand a normal wind of the a normal wind of the ocean, it's not anything. Now, what is a normal wind of the ocean? It's a super strong wind of the land. So we use his words differently, but it means the same thing. Rabbi Kiva Savar, Rabbi Kiva holds Sukka diras arai binon. A sukkah needs to be an arai. And what? Once it can stand on a simple wind of the land, it's kosher. Now we're moving on to the next portion. Oy al gabi gamol. Masnisin, the Mishnah says, Masnisin mani. Who's the author of this part of the Mishnah? We had the Mishnah, we said the first part's Rabbi Kiva. This part we're going to say is Rabbi Meir. So he says, the Tanya, he says, we learned in the Brayso, someone who makes a sukkah on top of an animal, Rabbi Meir says, it's good. Rabbi Yehuda Paisov says, no good. My time with Rabbi Yehuda. Why does Rabbi Yehuda say you cannot use an animal, or actually not use an animal? Why can't you put a sukkah on top of an animal? Because there's a pasuk, and the pasuk says you have to have a sukkah for 7 days. Sukkah haruya l'shiva shma sukkah. So what does he say? A sukkah that's roy for 7 days, that's a sukkah. Sukkah she'ena haruya l'shiva, a sukkah that is not roy for 7 days, which would be an animal, you cannot go on top of it on the Yom Tiv or on Shabbos. Lo shma sukkah, it's not a sukkah. So Reb Meir, so what does Reb Meir come say? Hanami midaraisa mechzi chazer. So basically he's saying like this. In reality, you would be allowed to go on top of it midaraisa. It's a derabanan that they don't allow you. Midaraisa you'd be allowed to. That's why he says you're allowed to. He's not saying you're allowed to taka go on it. He's saying on a technical standpoint you're allowed to. However, the Rabbanan said you're not. So that's why he holds you allowed to. Now we're going to move on and we're going to go again. Now this is going to be the interesting stuff with using the animal for the wall of the sukkah. And we're going to switch. Reb Meir is going to be the one that says you cannot, and the Rabbanan, and Rabbi is going to be the one that says you can. That's very simple. We're going to go through all the cases. It's elephant and not elephant and all that stuff, stuffing the gaps and so on. Asa lebehema daifin. If you made a animal into the wall, or you used an animal for a wall, the sukkah for the sukkah. Rabbi Meir Paisel Meir says you cannot use it. Rabbi Yehuda Machshon Rabbi Yehuda says you can. Shahai Rabbi Meir, because Rabbi Meir would say kol davar sheyesh beruach hayim ein oisen oisen loy daifin sukkah. So Rabbi Meir comes and we want to understand, where do we know that Rabbi Meir says you can't? And we're going to show you a bunch of places. He says, ein oisen oisen loy daifin sukkah, not a wall for the sukkah. V'loy lechi the mavoi, and not a lechi for the mavoi, like we explained. In order to carry in a mavoi, you had to have a siman. So either to be a kaira or a lechi. And if you wanted to use this animal and basically put him in place and use this as the siman, he says you can't. V'lo is passing the birois, and we explained that as well. It's the four corners in order to be able to schlep water out for the animals. V'lo go to the kever, and not a covering for the casket. Mishum Rabbi Yossi Glili, and now we added one more thing in the name of Rabbi Yossi Glili. Mishum Rabbi Yossi Glili Amru Af ein kaisvin olav giti nashim. You also do not write on an animal get nashim, meaning get creases to get divorced. Okay. So now we're going to go through each things. My time with Rabbi Meir. What's the reason that Rabbi Meir says you cannot use an animal for a wall? Why not? If you can use whatever you want, why not an animal? What's the problem? So comes two Amoraim, Abai and Reb Zer, and they're going to each give a different way to touch up Rabbi Meir. Abai says Shema Thomas. The reason is why Rabbi Meir says you can't, because you may die. Reb Zer Amar Shema Tevrach. Reb Zer says maybe he's going to run away. Okay. Now we're going to go through each and every way why there's a difference between the two. The pil kasher, if you have an elephant that's tied up, everyone agrees that would be okay. Why? Because the elephant if it were to die, its carcass would be big enough to be a wall, and it's tied up, so it's not running away. And we spoke back then, why wouldn't an elephant run away? It's so powerful, they can always rip apart stuff. Answer is, it's called the baby elephant syndrome, is that when they're born early on, when they're young, they make it strong for them, and then when they're older, they don't realize their strength. Same thing like us, we don't realize the more Chazara, okay, very good. The nami mayas, that if it would die, yesh ben it has in the carcass 10. Kipligi, when do they argue? Bepil, she'enai kosher, with the elephant that is not tied up. According to the one that's concerned, if it will die, we're not choshesh. Why? Because if it dies, you have the carcass, you have the space. According to the man Amar, that there's a concern that it may run away, that you are. So that will be the nafkamina between the two. Okay. So now we're going to ask, according to the one that says, I'm concerned it's going to die, okay, great. But what about if it's not going to die? What about if it's going to run away? Why aren't you concerned? So he says, so now we're going to say, so that they would all agree that it would be no good because it could run away. Fine. So he's masking. You asked a good question, I'm asking to you. If it's not tied up, we all agree it's no good. When do we argue? Behema. So now we switch it from an elephant to a behema. Just. Oh, that's okay. Behema. Thank you. Thank you as well. It's almost like, I was telling somebody today, when you catch a guy in a mistake, like the bakar, it's mamish like, it's geschmack. It's like next. Yeah, right here. It's like, no. Like, dude, he's going 100 miles an hour.
Set out the secret, everybody's
No. What do you mean? You're allowed to. What are you talking about? It's geschmack. I'm asking to it. Keep pligi. I also correct him. What?
Don't correct him.
I do it on purpose. You should know it's all on purpose. What? Keep pligi behema sure. When do we argue? We're arguing when it's a tied animal, not elephant. According to the mandama that we're concerned, he may die. Chashinon, we are chayshish. Why? Because if it dies, it doesn't have 10 tvachim in it, right? It's a behemoth, not an elephant. We're not chayish. Why? Because it's tied up. Now we're going to switch it around, just like we asked before the question on the one that Shema Tamos, we asked Shema Tivrach. Now we're going to switch it. Very good. That you're worried he's going to run away, and now it's tied up, so now you're not worried. Maybe you should also be worried it may die, even though it may die. So why aren't you worried about it? Here comes an answer. I'm not so concerned because it's not so common for animals to die during Sukkot. I mean, come on, they don't all die in that day, but those 7 days. Ravcha the Beni. So now he's going to ask, okay, but there's gaps between its legs, right? So what do we say? You stuff it up with branches and zachen, hutza branches and dafna, palm branches and dafna. Vidilma rava, maybe we'll sit down on it, so it's going to crush it down and also not be a proper wall height. So we say the mesicha ba'ashi milel. We tie it up with ropes from above it, so we hold it up in the air. So if you say this by this animal that you're chayish shema tivrach, what about the one that may die? So let's use the same thing of tying it up. So now we're not going to be concerned. Let us say the same thing, tie it up from above. He's not going to be able to die. Meaning, if he dies, he's not going to fall down. So what do we say? Zimnin, there's certain times, the moikim la b'pachas mishloisha, that what? You made it, the animal is just tall, it's 7 tvachim and a little bit. So he's within 3 tvachim of the top. So it makes with lava 10 tvachim, it's a kosher wall. Now what happens? Right? And what happens? And once it dies, it shrinks, and you won't notice that it shrunk, and therefore it's correct. It's milas 7. It's not going to be a kosher wall. You're going to have a problem. We're going to do a few more, and then let's maybe try to get to Chavdal and Amar Aleph. This should be just quick 2 stories. If you remember, we're going to ask now, Omi Amar Abaye, right? That Rameir is chash for Misa, and Yehuda is not chash for Misa. And what are we going to do? We're going to bring 2 cases to try to prove that that's not the way. Okay. So we're going to say it this. V'hatnan, we learned in the Mishnah, we're by Gittin. Basi Sol Shanis is the Kohen, Basi Sol the married Kohen. V'halach Ba'al Medina Siyam, and her husband went to Medina Siyam. Ha'chelas b'truma, b'cheska shukayim. She eats truma with the chazaka that he's alive, right? Now what's the problem if he dies? She's not allowed to eat truma. So we say there's a chazaka that he's gonna stay alive. Uramina, and now we're gonna say, let me ask you a stira. Uramina Allah, let me ask you a stira on this. Harei zagitech sha achas kodem isasi. Over there in the same place, it says, if the husband tells her, this is your get, an hour before I die, a moment before I die, whatever it is. Asur lechel b'truma miyad. Why? Because what happens if this is that hour before? Oh, it's not just me. I thought, I'm like, wow, okay, it's fine. Well, let's go quick. Vomar Abai and Abai says, Loikasha, Harameir, the Loikash Misa, this is Rameir, it's not Chash Misa. Harab Yehuda, the Chash Misa, this is Rabbi Yehuda, that is Chash Misa. So you see clearly, he says the opposites. Who is Chash, who's not Chash? Very clearly. So now we're going to say the Tanya. We also have a braysa. And if you guys remember, this is talking about, it's right before Shabbos, you're taking this thing, and the Kutim were not trustworthy to have taken Truma, and it will be a problem. So what do you do? Truma Samaisis. And he says, these two lugin that I'm going to on Matzah Shabbos be mafresh, this is Truma Lemafreya. It's called Breira. Asara Ma'aser Rishon, Tenar Ma'aser Rishon, Tisha Ma'aser Sheni. Right? That's the breakdown of, like we explained, is Truma, Ma'aser Rishon, Ma'aser Sheni. Umecha, and he can redeem V'shoyse Miyad and drink it right away. Divi Reb Meir, these are Reb Meir, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yosi, Reb Shimon, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yosi, Shimon, Aseret. I think there's 3 more lines to that, so let's do it. Epoch, so we say, let us say it's the opposite. Reb Meir, Chayesh Lamisa, Reb Meir is Chayesh Lamisa, Rabbi Yehuda, Loi Chayesh Lamisa, the Tanya, Asal, the Behema Doifen, and we're going to use our case of using an animal for the wall. Reb Meir Poisel, Reb Yehuda Machsher, Reb Boisai, thank you for coming. Have a wonderful night, have a wonderful Shabbos, and have a wonderful Kusher and Paisach. Emir Hashem. Next week, I think we're going to do Matzah Shabbos. I'm going to do the recording.
Monday.
Oh, okay. If you guys want, maybe we'll find. I'm available. I get off. I could. This is my excuse. This is my excuse, but it's up to you. Banas man. Whatever you guys decide, we'll schmooze over.
Monday, Tuesday.
We'll see you all on Monday. I get Shabbos.